Hey everybody, Shab Nobody Else's Auto. We got some cabs and some beds that we picked up at a super cool farm auction we went to a few months back. So if you missed that video, you'll definitely want to go back and check that out as well, because there was a lot of cool stuff there that day. I didn't get it all, but I got enough stuff that I was happy. No way I could have bought it all. There was a lot of cool stuff there. So you want to check out that video to see the trucks, the tractors, all kinds of cool stuff. What we're going to check out in this video is there were a few cabs and beds that I bought that were loose off of old trucks they'd taken apart years ago, laying around the farmstead type stuff. Starting off with this 1951 Ford. Now, this truck was an F5, we can see on the hood molding here. So this was a bigger truck, like a 1.5 tons, probably an old grain truck more than likely. It's got these 51 only moldings, and it's also got this front hood badge on here, which is really cool. 51 Ford only piece that is a pop metal badge that says Ford right across the front of it. It's just got a piece of wire where they had it tied down, but it's not broken or anything. That's a cool piece that's unique to the 51s. So this is just the cab, and basically the cab and hood's about all I got here. Inside here, we can still see it's got the dash stuff, 51, 52 only dash stuff, still has the glove box door, the ashtray, the speaker grill, all that stuff specific to the 51 and 52 Ford. Doors, vent windows, things like that. The cab does have rust in the cab corners, which is typical of a lot of these, especially some of these that have been off and sitting around the farmstead for a long time. Over here we do have a super custom heavy duty mirror bracket with some twisted flat metal and a big U-clamp, and not really sure what direction they were going with that, but I guess it did the job. And back in the day, that's what this stuff had to do. Had to do a job. They didn't care if it was pretty. They didn't care if it was aesthetically pleasing. It needed to do a job. They made sure it could do the job. That's all anybody was concerned about. Now, this thing is full of parts that were laying there on the ground as I was loading these cabs up. But a lot of this stuff isn't Ford. You'll notice these here, right here, not Ford parts. Nope, that's for the next cab we're going to look at. 1948 International KB-3. So there's the front bumper filler panels. And as we kind of work our way over there, we see more international parts that were all scattered around where these cabs were at. There's the seat frames, running boards, hood, super hard to find pickup front bumper with brackets for a 41 to 49 KB 1 through 3 truck. Needs to be re-chromed, but it's a good solid bumper. All really tough to find parts for these international. Still even has the international badges on the side of the hood. And we'll keep heading this direction to get to the KB-3 cab. Now this truck had a pretty rough life. I don't know what this thing hit or what hit this thing, but we can see it took a pretty good shot right here on the right side of the cab. Smashed the fender, split the factory seam on the cab, so it took a pretty good shot. We've got the front clip here. It fortunately did not hit the KB-3 emblems. Both KB-3 emblems are still here, just a little crusty. Around the front, still has a lot of the stainless pieces on the grill still here intact. Has one real nice headlight bezel, amazingly. For as hard as those are to find, one real nice chrome headlight bezel still left on that one. We'll kind of take a quick look at the cab here. It actually has a windshield frame in it that looks pretty decent. These windshield frames are getting really tough to find. This one looks pretty clean. We come around here and take a peek inside this cab. Not much left inside. The dash cluster and stuff's already gone. We can see how bad it buckled the floor when this thing took a shot. But I don't know what hit it, but it sure twisted that metal up pretty good. So we've also got the bed to this KB-3, as well as another Ford pickup bed. So they're sitting in another spot, so let's head off that way and go check that stuff out. All right, we're back out here where I've got the bed for the old KB-3 plus another Ford bed we picked up that farm auction. Like I said, super cool deal. You definitely want to check those videos out as well. This is the bed for the KB-3. This is an international bed, not a Knox bed. And it does actually still have the IHC tag on it right back here in the corner. Does still have an old license plate on it even. Looks like it was last tagged in 1977. This was a 75 plate with the 77 sticker on it. Heavy duty custom rear bumper. Supports hanging, squaring off the sides here with some lights on that as well. Bed sides really don't look too bad. Rear fenders, these international rear fenders are super tough. This one's dented right here, but looks to be a really solid fender. Has some added steps here on the side. I guess that would make sense. These Internationals, the running boards didn't go all the way back to the rear fenders, so somebody added some steps to it. Almost looks like the steps came out of a Knox bed, the way how squared off they are. But you never know. But I bet they were handy when you're using this truck around the farm. It looks like they were actually going to make a trailer out of this and then never did. You can see where they cut the frame, and that's pretty much where this project ended at that point. I'm guessing after the pickup was wrecked, that's probably what they decided to do with it and never got it finished. We've actually even still got the front axle out of the KB-3 laying inside the bed with the wheels still on it. Somebody had put a spare tire mount over on this side of the bed. Once again, this bedside doesn't look too bad either. It's got the factory ribs and everything in it. Pretty decent looking bedside. Now this fender obviously took a pretty good shot and damaged this fender. However, they had another fender laying there for it that went with it. So this one has a little damage as well, but definitely still a solid fixable fender for as hard as these are to find. So there's the bed for the KB-3. So I basically kind of got most of the truck just in various pieces. One other bed we're going to catch while we're here came from the same auction, and definitely check the video out of this. This bed was piled full of junk when I got it, but thanks to my buddy Stuart, we got it emptied. So click the link for that video as well. It's kind of interesting, but he did a good job of getting her all cleaned out before we loaded it. This is a 65-66 Ford 8-foot fleetside style bed. Typical dings and dents, but really not bad for one of these. Still got the factory hubcaps on it. Tailgates here. It's got this, looks like an aftermarket type rear bumper. Tailgate looks pretty good. Had an extra little latch put on it, but really in pretty decent shape considering its age. But like I said, it does have dings, dents, things like that. But don't see a ton of rust in it. The bedsides are going to need some straightening, but they do appear to pretty much be fixable. Like I said, this was an old farm sale. You never know what you're going to find laying around, and that's kind of what's in the back of here. Door for a 48 to 50 Chevy pickup. Here's actually the running boards off that 51 F5 we just looked at. Found those laying in another pile. Hubcaps laying around, wheels laying around, all kinds of miscellaneous stuff in the buildings, and things laying around out there on the ground at the old farm auction. That's why they're always interesting. You literally never know what you're going to find laying around out there. Old Ford V8 caps. Pretty cool old flipper cap. You just never know. You never know what's going to pop up. So when you go to those big farm auctions, you always want to keep your eyes peeled because you never know what you're going to find next. So like I said, we had a pretty good day there. Stay tuned for the other videos. We bought several cars or several trucks there. So check out the videos from the auction. Check out the 78 F-150 Super Cab, the 38 GMC, the 84 Silverado, so the 72 International 4-wheel drive. We got some cool stuff there. So you guys got any questions about any of these International Ford parts, just give me a shout, 620-786-4428. Or anything else you might be interested in. We've got close to 2,000 cars and trucks here on the ground right now at Nobody Else's Auto, so give me a shout. Give me a call is the only way to have that discussion about your project or what you're looking for a project. Year, make, model, body style, what you need, things like that. 620-786-4428. That number is in the description for the video as well, so we can have that short conversation. Emails, texts, none of that stuff is ever complete enough to work with, so just give me a shout. It's real easy that way. That way I can get all the information from you. You like old cars, you like old trucks, you like the stuff we just checked out, you like farm auctions, be sure to check out the channel, Nobody's Show. It's about all I know, so that's about all we can talk about on here, but we have a lot of fun doing it. So be sure to check out the channel, click that subscribe button, definitely click that notification button. We do a lot of cool live stuff on here, so you won't want to miss that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. We got a lot more cool stuff coming up. I've been dragging a lot of cool stuff into the yard. You won't want to miss it. Hope to see you soon on the next video.